Hello everybody. Yesterday I was talking about the breathing techniques for woodwind, brasswind, especially oboe, and also for singers. So this is a continuation of that first video. So if you haven't seen that first video about breathing technique, I recommend you start with that one. So how to develop a free breathing technique, and I also explained the embouchure. I explained it especially for the oboists, but if you are a woodwind player or a brasswind player, you can check it out as well, because it's the same principle. It's really the same principle of not smiling, of not tensing the muscles, of really having the lips as a pillow for your mouthpiece, any mouthpiece, any instrument's mouthpiece, for having the free, really as much freedom as possible for flexibility, for sound, for vibrato, for expression, for volume. So that's the other second video I did about embouchure. That I also recommend you to check if you haven't seen both of these videos before you continue with this one. So with this one, I want to do the connection between the breathing technique and the diaphragm that you control low and that you keep low, and the mouth, which is then totally free. So how to connect both of them? Of course, there is the air coming through, and what can control the air? It is not the mouth, it is not the diaphragm, it is the vocal cords. The vocal cords, both for singers, woodwinds, and brasswinds. And again, there are very little teachers who explain that, if any. Really, I know only a few who talk about voice cords for woodwind and brasswind. So the first thing you have to consider is when you play an instrument. Here is the oboe. When you play, you don't just play out here and then the air goes through the instrument, you don't know how, you just put the fingers. No. You should consider not only that the instrument has to vibrate thoroughly, the whole wood piece, even in high pitch. Like when you play a low note or a high note, it doesn't make a difference. The whole instrument has to vibrate as much as possible. And not only that, you shouldn't play the oboe like a trumpet. Not that the sound doesn't come out only from here. It comes out from your body as well. Your whole body is a resonance box, and you have to think that the sound also comes from behind you. So for example, if I play a high B flat, like lots of musicians, even professional musicians, when they play low, they play quite with a lot of volume, and the higher they go, the thinner their sound becomes. Like this. I will exaggerate, but that's how many musicians sound, even professional musicians. Right? You don't want that. So when I play a low B flat, which is the lowest note of the instrument, and I want to make the whole instrument vibrate, and also my own body, I think of also having the sound coming all around me, getting out. Even when I practice in my practice room, I don't play just for myself. I imagine myself as if I was playing in a cathedral or in the Berliner Philharmonic hall, which is for, I don't know, 3,000 people. And so the last guy there sitting behind has to hear me as well as me here. So I have to be able to really project that sound, and not only in front of me, but all around me. So if I play a low B flat, if my reed will accept playing it. Sorry, I think I have a problem with the instrument. resonance with all the harmonics, all the frequencies. It's not just a B flat, it's the whole spectrum of a B flat. And if I play a high B flat, I will think the same way. Right? It's a strong one, lots of sound quality. So, I was talking about the vocal strings. How to play low piano and how to play high forte. So a way to develop your breathing technique and your pitch and the quality of your sound and the volume of your sound is doing a low note crescendo, like you start piano, but without biting here. You close with the vocal strings. So you close with the vocal strings. I will show you afterwards. And then so you start piano, for example, low D. And then you do crescendo. The diaphragm stays down. You keep it staying down, and you open the vocal cords more and more and more and more and more and more. And you open yourself, like you also think of that vibration of the whole room. And when you are at the climax of your low D, full volume, then you go legato to the high D. You are at the really forte, and then you start closing, and the pitch has to stay perfect, and it will stay perfect because you won't move here. If you bite here, the sound will go up. If you stay there, and if you close here, your pitch will stay right. So, for the vocal cords, how to control them, how to know if you close them or open them. If a singer doesn't control and the vocal cords and the vocal cords are too open, then you will hear air in the sound in the voice, like ah, instead of ah, right? So you can do that without the instrument, like and so forth. That's what you will be doing with the instrument, be it an oboe, a trumpet, a clarinet, a tuba, whatever. It's the same technique. So you can do that with the reed as well, just with the reed or the embouchure. And that will be the same technique for vibrato, but that I will explain later. So, if I go on a low D, I will start piano, and so closing here, but with the same mouthpiece, the same embouchure that is free. We start piano and then open, keep the diaphragm controlled down. Open until I have the maximum nice sound, and then I will just have the octave system going up, and then the high D will come out naturally because it's the harmonic of the low D. Full volume, full quality, and then I will start closing, and the pitch has to stay the same until the sound just disappears. Here it is. I hope my oboe will function properly. That was a bit rough. That's the way it should be. And so you can practice that on every note, from low D for the oboe, from low D till high C. So you can start for 1 week, low D till low G, and then till yeah, and then the next week G till C. So like this. I'll do it quickly, but you have to do it as slow as I just did. Again, you have to take more time. Be careful also be sitting on doing that exercise, because you also can become dizzy and eventually fall out of consciousness. So do that exercise sitting, and don't exaggerate. Don't force yourself, be gentle. And so until the G for the first week. Right, and then the next week you will do from G, like I just did, until the high C, and the high C has to sound as beautiful and full of sound as the low D. So there you are. So you can do that with the oboe, you can do that with any instrument. Of course, the oboe requests less air, so you can do that. You can do longer exercises if you do it. If you play a trumpet, also, but if you play like flute or tuba, you cannot do that for like 30 seconds. So I hope that helped you with new technique, with techniques that teachers don't talk too much about, and they are so fundamental. So if you like my work, please put thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Eventually you can forward my video to friends of yours, musician friends, and also I have lots of my music posted on this channel, so please check it out. And if you like it, you can buy my musical tracks on my website, emmanuellesolmer.org. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.